Guten Tag alle, Herr Wallace hier. Heute werden wir ein bisschen über dieses Thema sprechen. Das ist nämlich der Unterschied zwischen der, die oder den oder dasselbe und das Gleiche. So today we're going to talk about the differences between these two words and how to use them and understand how to use them in German. So first of all, we have to break down what they mean. There is a difference in meaning between the two. Using dasselbe, derselbe, dieselbe, denselbe means that something is not just identical, but the exact same thing. Okay, so it's the exact same thing you're referring to. Whereas Gleiche means something that is a duplicate and may resemble the first object in every way, but it's not the same exact object. So, for example, think about it like this. Das Gleiche are two words that means two separate things that look identical, but it's not the exact same thing. Whereas dasselbe is one word and one thing, meaning it is the exact same thing. For example, you can use them in the sentence: Sie benutzen beide die gleiche Zahnbürste, aber niemals dieselbe. So this means they both use the same kind of brush, but never the exact same brush. Okay. Now, one thing about dasselbe, derselbe, dieselbe, denselbe is that it changes, which you already can gather by the way I'm using it here. And it's going to change or be declinable depending upon the case of the noun and gender of the noun that it's going to describe. So let's take a look at how this works with the different cases. Nominative, remember, is for the subject of a sentence or comes after a conjugation of the verb sein. In English, we call this the predicate nominative. The accusative is for the direct object of a sentence or comes after accusative prepositions in German. Dative for the indirect object or comes after dative prepositions. And genitive is used to show possession in German, or it can also occur after genitive prepositions. So we're going to use the derselbe, meaning a masculine noun. And you'll see how it changes as we go across here. So derselbe is nominative, denselben is accusative, demselben, das ist dative or dative, and desselben is genitive. If it was a feminine noun, if it was nominative case, it'd be dieselbe. It would remain that in the accusative, but in the dative it would change to derselben, and then derselben also for the genitive. Das word or neuter noun is dasselbe, dasselbe in the accusative, but for the dative it's going to change to demselben and then desselben. And this may look familiar to you if you are familiar, for example, with the charts on definite articles and how they change. You are seeing der, die, das, and then the accusative der changes to den, die and das stay the same, and the dative der and das change to dem, die to der. So it's basically reflecting this change in the definite article, but using dasselbe or derselbe, dieselbe, depending on the noun that's following it. Dieselben, dieselben, denselben, und dann derselben. Okay, for masculine, let's break it down a little bit more here. We already looked at this, so let's do some examples of the nominative here. Derselbe Mann hat mir die Eintrittskarte gegeben. That means the exact same man has given me the entrance ticket. Okay, but Mann here, which is the noun that derselbe is describing, is masculine, thus derselbe, and it's nominative because it is the subject of the sentence. In the accusative case, remember the accusative is for the direct object, so ich habe denselben Mann gesehen, meaning I have seen the exact same man. And here we're using it as a direct object. I have seen what? The man, the exact same man. So here it's der will change to den. And okay, we'll move on to the dative here, and I'm using a dative preposition, mit. Ich habe mit demselben Mann gesprochen, meaning I have talked with the exact same man. And because of mit, it's dative, so der Mann changes to dem, and this is reflected in demselben. Genitive, remember, is showing possession, so das ist das Auto desselben Mannes. So this is the exact same car of the man, of the exact same man. This is the car of the exact same man. So this is complicated. It's not often used, perhaps, in the genitive, but you should be aware of it. Okay, the feminine. So we're going to do the exact same thing with a feminine noun. Maybe we will talk about a Frau, which is feminine in German, a D word. So for the nominative as a subject, dieselbe Frau hat mit mir getanzt. The same lady, exact same lady danced with me. Accusative, ich habe dieselbe Frau gesehen. I've seen the exact same lady. Ich habe mit derselben Frau getanzt. I danced with the exact same lady. And das ist das Auto derselben Frau. That is the exact same lady's car. Okay. Neuter nouns. So here we're going to use das words and we're going to use Auto. Dasselbe Auto ist wieder vorbeigefahren. The same car has gone by again. Ich habe dasselbe Auto gesehen. I have seen the exact same car. Ich bin mit demselben Auto zur Schule gefahren. I have gone to school or driven to school with the exact same car. And then das ist das Spielzeug desselben Kindes. That's the toy of the exact same child. Okay, plurals. We're going to use Männer here, which is plural for Mann, or in this case it means men. So, dieselben Männer haben mit mir gesprochen. Ich habe dieselben Männer gesehen. Ich habe mit denselben Männern gesprochen. Und sie sind Fotos derselben Männer. These are photos of the exact same group of guys. So here you see, hopefully, how they're used in each of the cases. Now, Gleiche is, you'll be good to think of gleich as an adjective because it changes and reacts the same way that an adjective does, especially if the man is behind it, or as the noun is behind it. So, for der words like Mann, der gleiche Mann, den gleichen Mann, dem gleichen Mann und des gleichen Mannes. Okay, and for feminine nouns, die gleiche Frau, der gleichen Frau, der gleichen Frau. For nominative, for the neuter nouns, das gleiche Auto, dem gleichen Auto und des gleichen Autos. And then for plural nouns, like we use Frauen here, die gleichen Frauen, den gleichen Frauen, der gleichen Frauen. So think of gleich as an adjective and apply the adjective endings that hopefully you know. This is, of course, an advanced topic, I would say, probably for upper level German, but hopefully you are familiar with adjective endings. That's very critical. But once you understand case in German, all of this seems to make sense to you then. That's the kind of key to the whole thing. Alright, so let's show them using a der word like Hund, ein gleicher Hund, einen gleichen Hund, einem gleichen Hund. And I'm going to show it using Karte here. And then also using a das word, Auto. Same chart I showed you. Just kind of showing you how it works with an indefinite article. So it's preceded by an indefinite article, not definite article as I've written here. So that's a Schreibfehler or a small mistake. Okay, so now we're going to use these in some examples to see if you got it. I have written the English that I want to say underneath it, so hopefully this will help you. So if I want to say I bought the same dress, not meaning the exact same, but a similar, a replica, a duplicate if you will. Ich habe das gleiche Kleid gekauft. Ich wollte dasselbe Kleid kaufen, meaning I want to buy the exact same dress, meaning the one you have in your hand. Das ist dasselbe Auto, das ich gestern gesehen habe. That is the exact same car I saw yesterday. Derselbe Mann hat mit mir auch gesprochen. The exact same man has also spoken with me. Hast du mit demselben Programm gearbeitet? Have you worked with this exact same program? Ich trage die gleiche Bluse wie Elke, so I'm wearing the same blouse as Elke. Not meaning exact same, but duplicate. Er trägt dasselbe Hemd, das gestern anhatte. He's wearing the exact same shirt he had on yesterday. Es gibt heute zum Mittagessen das gleiche Essen wie gestern. So it's the same food or similar food that we had yesterday. And then, ich habe mein Hemd in demselben Geschäft gekauft. And here we're using en, which can be a two-way preposition. So if we're talking about where something is, we're going to use dative, which is the case here, since we're not going into the store. So this is dative, demselben Geschäft, which is a das word. So ich weiß, that can be kind of complicated, but I hope this begins to explain to you. At least, if nothing else, you know now there's a difference between dasselbe and das Gleiche, and you have some understanding of how they're going to change depending on the case and gender of the noun that they are referring to. Okay, vielen Dank für das Zuschauen und Zuhören. Auf Wiedersehen.